Bitcoin and Ethereum are crashing after some PPI data, okay, that recently came out. So if we take a look at the liquidations here, we can see that, man, a lot of people have been wrecked. Over the last 24 hours, there's been over $1 billion in liquidation. So this happens a lot when people trade with leverage, on exchanges, and also when there's a lot of call option volume coming into the options market. So this was expected. So Ethereum and Bitcoin both down. Bitcoin got absolutely crushed. Okay, down almost 5% in one day. Now I have noticed as recently, ever since there's been big red candles, there's been some green recoveries recently this year. So we're still in the bull market. Okay, a lot of this made sense. Bitcoin had been on an uptrend, and it had been pumping. Okay, a lot of people are obviously aware of September being a bad month. So, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we're just going to crash from here. Obviously, a lot of people are preparing for September, but historically, August has been a green month for Bitcoin, post halving. So, if we take a look back here in 2021, you can see that Bitcoin was green, up 13% in 2021, August. And then in August 2017, Bitcoin was up 66%. So this is usually a bullish period, okay? But, we'll see. The month isn't over. It's half over. Now, there has been something interesting about Bitcoin on the second week of August on the Friday. So I'm going to show you guys that really quickly on the post-halving years. So if we got to just like back up here, we could just take a look at the chart. Okay, so if we take a look here, I noticed this, and this happened on both the Bitcoin and Ethereum, that on the second week of August, on the second week of August on Friday, there was a massive green candle last post-halving year for Bitcoin and Ethereum. So I don't know if that will necessarily repeat, but I have been thinking about that because, this was such a red day. Maybe on Friday we have a massive green day. I don't know. But the good news is that, we're still in a positive uptrend. Okay, we've still been pretty green so far. Even green this quarter. Okay, so in Q3, Bitcoin is still up 9%. So I just think a lot of people got flushed out. Okay, a lot of people are going to be scared now, running for the exits. This really isn't probably the time, I would say, to say get out. Bitcoin, Ethereum, both trading at, RSI of pretty much 30 on the hourly chart. So I think a lot of people are going to come in here and buy the dip over the next 2 weeks and then probably sell in September. Now, the interesting thing is that we're going to talk a little bit about something that I came across looking at the patterns again. So looking at those weekly patterns, we can see that take a look at the last. Okay, we can take a look at the last post-halving year, right? What happened in 2021? We can see that Bitcoin rallied. Okay, so it was rallied in the first week of August, the second week, the third week, and then it took a breather the third week, and then the last week of August it ran up, and then it looks like in the first week or the second week of September there's going to be a sell-off. So I still think we're going to be bullish here. I don't think we're going to dump just yet. I think the dump is going to come at the end of August. So I've been basically trying to think about how I'm going to play this, looking at some potential. And then also for Ethereum, if we look at Ethereum, we can see that Ethereum in the last week of August had a big green candle. So it looks like Bitcoin's going to top out at the end of August. It looks like Ethereum's going to top out at the end of the first week of September. So I'm going to have to sit back and figure out how I'm going to play these calls, but I'm probably going to load up on some Bitcoin Ethereum calls ending in August. So I wanted to show you guys a quick trade that I was looking at, especially for Ethereum, because I think Ethereum, is just right now, it's just more popular. So taking a look here, I saw some calls coming through. Look at the open interest on this one. Okay, the open interest is insane, right? So we take a look at this call, $36, expiring on November 5th for, ETHA, that's the Ethereum ETF. I noticed that the open interest was up over 3,000%. Yeah, so someone opened a lot of contracts. They're very bullish on Ethereum leading up to that first week. So I'm probably going to dip my toes into these calls, especially on the red day that we just experienced. So that's my main target, the calls expiring on November 5th, 36. So I'm still bullish right now. I'm not panicking for this sell-off. This happens. Historically, there's been a recovery on the second week, the last Friday. So we'll see if we still have that historical pump. If we don't have this historical pump on Friday, then I'll probably be a little bit worried. But I mean, maybe people are just taking profits early for September. I really don't know. But this is not September. I don't think this is the time to get out. I still think we're still halfway through the month. There's still 2 weeks left of gains, but I will be taking profits at the end of the month. So I wouldn't worry too much about the PPI flush. Wholesale prices were up. The producer price index jumped, almost 1% in July. This was a market ride sell-off. Okay, when this data came out, everything kind of dumped. Okay, these prices have been coming up, so it looks like inflation is still in our economy, even though it's been so the CPI data has been down. It does look like prices are coming back up, so that's just something to look at. That's definitely going to affect the broader markets, and I got a lot of people liquidated, but that doesn't take away from Bitcoin, Ethereum, their upcoming bull run. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens on this, I guess it would be August 10th. So we'll see what happens. Well, let's see what day we're looking at here. We'll see if it's the second Friday if things pump. So that would be, Friday, August 15th. See what happens there. But like I said, that just happens. We'll see here if some of you guys out there are worried about Bitcoin dumping early before the predicted September sell-off. Let me know. I wouldn't worry about it too much. That was just a liquidation flush. So hopefully things will get back on track. But like I said, we're still in the bull run. So like I said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick video update. Let me know what you think. If you guys enjoy the channel, please subscribe. Please check out some of my other videos that I posted recently while we're in this great bull run. So thanks for watching.